They are what they are, but what that is, I have no idea. The makers of We Are What We Are have claimed that this film does for cannibals what Let the Right One In does for vampires. If by that they mean it is dimly lit, dull to the point of boredom and as subtitles, then they are fully justified in their claim. We Are What We Are is a Mexican independent film and follows a family of cannibals as they come to terms with the passing of their father. Teenage sons Alfredo and Julian are left with the task of assuming their father's hunter-gatherer role and must go out to find food for their sister and mother. From here we watch as they hunt in a modern-day world by picking up prostitutes and befriending strangers. Once their father dies, it is never explained what killed him. The role of family leader is up for grabs, and though the older, more mentally stable son attempts to cement this position as his own, secretly we can see that it is his headstrong sister that is pulling the strings. Being an arty, indie film, you can expect metaphors aplenty and very long drawn-out scenes where not a lot happens. In We Are What We are treated to walls of clocks and the shutting of doors. The family have to perform a ritual, it is never explained why, and have a limited amount of time to do it in, it is never explained why, and the clocks help to remind us of that. In every single scene. In addition to this, the family seem relatively normal to the outside world, yet behind closed doors they hide their cannibalistic secret. Cue the closing of doors. Door after door after door. It takes a couple of closings for the audience to get the metaphor, but after the 17th time they might as well be hitting you over the head with a door. In between the darkness and deeper meanings, we have a random comic relief scene. Attempting to revive Shakespeare's Yohek, we have an undertaker and his assistant whose pithy one-liners don't translate very well. However, I would be astounded to hear that they raise laughs in their mother tongue either. Neither this scene nor its characters are needed. We learn that the father was poisoned. It is never explained why, of course, yet this is never mentioned again. I can honestly say that I went into this film with an open mind. I did not know it was subtitled, and though it is fairly obvious that it will be as soon as the film starts, I still didn't find out until 10 minutes in, due to the sheer lack of dialogue. I have no problem with art house productions, and I'm certainly not one of those people spouting rubbish like, if I wanted to read I'd have bought a book, but this film was so much duller than the typical foreign offering. As annoying as the slow pace is though, my main problem with this film is the amount of unanswered questions. Who poisoned the father? What ritual do they need to perform? Why are they cannibals in the first place? Do they only eat humans? 'Cause that means they don't eat throughout the entire film. There are many more questions raised, and for spoiler purposes I'll leave them out, but you get the point. If there was just a little bit of depth added to these characters, then maybe I'd have given it more chance, but without that I tapped out about 2/3 of the way through. The original premise of this film is decent enough. Leader of pack dies, power struggle to take his place, let the feast commence. But the build-up is so painfully slow. Once the secret is revealed, you pray for the tempo to pick up, but it never does. You pray for just one of the millions of questions you have to be answered, but they never are. You expect to at least see someone get eaten, but even that doesn't happen. In a cannibal film, somewhere in the depths of hell, Ed Gein is shaking his head in disappointment. Those of you that enjoy pretentious cinema and need it to prove your intelligence may enjoy We Are What We Are, but most of us will just be left saying, "K."